Hey everyone, it's been a while since we did one of these, but it's time for another giant size Patreon. Where we kind of do like a State of the Union address, like tell you guys what's been going on with the Patreon, tell you guys what we're trying to do. And by we, I don't know why I keep saying we when it's just me. But yeah, just trying to keep you guys up to date with all of the things that's been going on and sort of just like bring everything back home because, as I've talked about in previous giant size Patreons, the whole point of this Patreon is to support me as a content creator and help me travel to more events so I can bring you guys more content. But it's also, I can't really do a whole lot of exclusive content for you guys. And that's kind of been proven by a couple of things. So we announced that we were going to do Vision Ward, right, which was the new program where I would be doing Patreon exclusive interviews. We have done a few, but there was like a promise to do 2 a month, and I think if I by the time all of the content drops, there will have been 2 a month since the announcement, but there hasn't been 2 every month. And that's my fault, but it's also really been difficult for me for scheduling lately. We didn't hit all of the content goals on the Trello that I really wanted to hit for September. And then in October, we had a very difficult time covering the League of Legends World Championship. That took up a lot of our time. And then when it was all done, I was dead. I was not in a very good place mentally. Working on Korea time while living in New York was very isolating, and that just wasn't a very good idea. It was a very smart financial decision. I still have a pretty stocked pantry from it, so that was worth it. But there was a lot that happened with that was not good for me mentally. And it hurt my Patreon output for October and also, to be honest, for November. But I do want to thank you guys. You guys sent me to Canada Cup. I had no financial problems at Canada Cup. The trip went smoothly despite Greyhound. And I got to stay with friends. I got to see a lot of friends. I got to have a pretty good time. You guys pretty much made that a very stress-free trip. Just like you guys made Red Bull Conquest in the middle of November a pretty stress-free trip from a finance perspective. Other things happened, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it on social media. There was the huge blow-up with my Greyhound transportation where I didn't get in until 6 hours after I was supposed to get in, and then by the time I got in, I missed a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, and then I couldn't get into my hotel room because doctor wasn't there, and so I didn't get into a room until 1 a.m., and I was just sitting in the lobby exhausted for 3 hours. But actual Red Bull Conquest was dope. But I also want to point something out to you guys. So I've said that the goal of the Patreon is to allow me to travel to events to bring you more content. Let's just give you an example of something that happened. So because you guys sent me to Canada Cup, I got to guest on Heads Up Daily, which is a Canadian program that's part of the Jinx Network. As you guys may or may not know, I write a lot of content for Jinx's EU site. Well, I guess main site, because they're a London-based company. So that was really cool, and I got to do something I haven't done before, which is make an on-camera TV appearance. And I think I did a pretty good job. I've been told I did a good job. A lot of people think I did a good job. You guys allowed that. If you guys didn't send me to Canada Cup, I don't make the Heads Up Daily appearance, right? You guys sent me to Red Bull Conquest in DC. Now, because I was at Red Bull Conquest in DC, I got to link up with a friend, Brandon, who is an associate producer at Cheddar Sports. And because of that, I got to talk about Street Fighter for Cheddar, right? Which then led to me talking about Street Fighter again for Cheddar in right before the Capcom Cup. So, you guys aren't just sending me to events. You guys are creating opportunities for me that like I literally would not have had without you. So I like really have to thank you guys for that. You're not just creating an opportunity for me to make more written content and video content that both you get to enjoy watching and reading and, you know, fills my coffers. You're also letting me expand as a content creator. And that's why I'm really thankful. You know, I haven't said this yet, at least not in one of these, but back in October, I decided to relaunch my Patreon. And by relaunch, I mean like actually talk about it more. Because when I was talking to people about, you know, how I was having trouble traveling, they're like, why don't you have a Patreon? And I'd be like, I do. And you guys, a lot of you, because there's a lot of you who are current patrons who were part of this early discussion, said, I never knew you had a patron. I never knew that you had this thing. Why didn't I know about this? And I didn't have a good answer. So I started telling people I have a patron. I have a Patreon. And in that 1 month, we went from $14 to $50. And that allowed me to go to Red Bull Battlegrounds in Boston, stressless, a little less stress. Not fully stress-free, but you know, you guys paid for the travel. And then you guys took it from $50 to I believe like $100 by January, so that when I went back to Boston for the E-League major, it was even more stress-free. And then you guys got me to $150 by final round, which meant I was able to eat and not have to like pack ramen noodles and Pop-Tarts. And then you guys made going to Evo easier. And then you guys got me to $200 for Evo. And then you guys sent me to Canada Cup, and you guys made PAX East a thing that happened. And you guys made so much happen this year, whether it was keeping me afloat financially, helping me go to events, helping me have more opportunities. I wouldn't have this set, right? This thing that I love that you guys see every giant-sized Patreon, and, you know, all of the lessons I do and the Gnosis knockouts, and when I make my guest appearances when I'm home. You guys paid for this. You know, you guys made all of this possible, and I don't know what to say. I feel like I don't deliver on a lot of the promises I make for you guys, but that hasn't dissuaded you guys from supporting me. In fact, most of you who have had to withdraw your patronage, it's because you guys need to worry about yourselves. And I want to say that as much as I would love to make all the money in the world, I want you guys to be taken care of first. It's very important to me. Because you guys are my friends. You guys are my family. You guys look out for me, and I want to look out for you. So if this is stressing you guys at all, please, please don't worry about me. You know, worry about you too. But let's keep it happy for a bit longer. All right. So it's now December, and what are the goals? Right? What's the goals going into 2019? Well, here's the deal, fam. And this is directed at, you know, the new hopeful patrons, right? We're at $226 with 60 patrons. We are effectively $74 away from being able to fly out to California for the first week of Overwatch League, which we can then sort of hopefully spin into going to LCS that same weekend. That means that we need to hustle, guys. We need to get the word out there that I'm cool. Because here's the thing. If you guys get me to Overwatch League, which also means getting me to LCS, I can hit the floor hard like I did at final round and do a ton of content that I can sell off as evergreen content to websites like Jinx and potentially Hotspawn and another outlet that I'm talking to, the Shadow League, which we can then use that money to go back to California later. And then if we're doing all of that, we can also build ties in California and hopefully use that to go to other events and get more sponsorships. Like, the goal right now is that with your help, you guys will be getting me to events that will allow me to get more sponsorships. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to be like, I don't know, like Travis Gafford, right? Like we're going to try to have a sponsor. That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that in 2019, between you guys and a sponsor, if there's an event you want to see the esports unicorn at, she's going to be there. And so we need to get to that $300. Now, what happens if we don't get to that $300? I am willing to put my own money up front, which I've said before I didn't want to do, but I want to pay you guys back for what you guys have done. So I'm willing to fill in the blank between the Patreon payout in January and the remaining money needed to go to California. And this isn't to say that like a lot of the content that we'll do in California is going to be Patreon exclusive, but you guys have made it clear that you want to see Overwatch content. You guys like the LCS content that I do. So I will make sure that it happens because you guys deserve the dope content and I want to bring it to you. And so that's hopefully where the January payout will be going to, is to that plane ticket. And the February payout will be mostly focused on financials while we're in California, because California is very expensive. We're going to have to pay for a couple of Ubers. And by a couple of Ubers, I mean, it's going to get expensive, guys. There's a chance that the February payout's not going to cover everything, but we're going to make it happen. Now, you guys are probably wondering, all right, cool, Amanda, but, you know, we really love the FGC stuff, and if you're using January and February in Overwatch League, how are you getting to final round? Well, because I'm a shill, I did some content recently that's going to pay for the final round flight, which means that in March, the March payout is going to go to final round. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be at the first FGC, the first, major of the year. We're going to be covering some final round, which means Street Fighter, Tekken, maybe some Dragon Ball. Who knows? I think they do Smash too, so maybe some Smash. Yeah, we're gonna really hit that event hard like we did last year, and really bring it to you guys. What else is going on in 2019? So the 2019 content schedule is looking like Overwatch League in February, final round in March, and then the rest of the year is going to be Defend the North, Evo, Combo Breaker. We're going to try to go out to Red Bull Kumite in France. I also want to try to make Head Stomper, which is in London. Well, not London, but it's in England, right? Yeah. We're going to try to make some more FGC events. And then the hope is that we'll land a sponsor that'll make traveling to some... Like, we want to make the home games for Overwatch League in Atlanta. I want to go to E-League and try my hand at CSGO. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned out. Like, we're going to have unicorn merch. It's not necessarily going to be unicorns, but we're going to be making some unicorn merch, which will basically mean that I'll be making some queer positive, body positive, ethnic positive clothing, and hopefully you guys will want to buy it. And then since you guys bought it, we will have some more money. Like, we got to pay for a translator at final round. Just like a lot of different stuff that's going on in the background. I wish I had a lot of concrete stuff, but I don't have all the information right now because talks and contracts haven't been signed. But I want you guys to know that 2018 has been the best year yet. We messed up in some places. We missed out on some opportunities. We shot ourselves in the foot a few times. And you guys stuck it out. All 60 of you guys stuck it out with me. And you have no idea how much I appreciate it. And all I can tell you is that 2019 is going to be even more dope. Because I've seen what I can do. And I'm tackling the things that I need to tackle. I'm tackling my mental health very seriously now. I'm seeing a therapist. I'm getting on medication. Starting estrogen. You guys got me from one end of the tunnel to the other. I'm not out of the woods yet. but you guys have definitely made it so that I can see the end of it. And 2019 is going to be not a redemption story of, getting back for all the fuck ups. It's basically going to be the payback. I'm going to pay you guys back. I'm going to show you guys that all of the faith you put into me in 2018 and all the financial backing that you guys gave me is going to be great. So until next time, remember to go beyond and plus ultra.